The United States has unveiled an enormous new ship that's ready for action. It was created by the greatest engineers in our world who drew upon their extensive experience in designing flagship vessels. Equipped with state-of-the-art systems, formidable weaponry, and virtually impenetrable defenses, this aircraft carrier of an unprecedented scale is armed with anti-aircraft guns, laser installations, and a fleet of the finest fighters.
Today it is my great pleasure to announce that the Department of the Navy's newest aircraft carrier, CVN-78, the first in a new class of CVN-21 carriers, will be named USS Gerald R. Ford.
No potential adversary can stand against it, as no one would dare to attack such a titan. But how is America's latest ship designed, and what surprises does it hold for us? Engineers were faced with a choice: either retrofit and upgrade existing vessels or create a new one from scratch. Ultimately, the second option proved more convenient, timely, and practical. Huntington Ingalls Industries, the sole manufacturer of nuclear ships in the U.S., undertook the development and construction of this aircraft carrier. The development phase was completed in 2017 and the ship was officially commissioned. Thus, the U.S.'s most expensive aircraft carrier, the Gerald Ford, was born, marking the dawn of a new era in America's military power.
The foundation that we're building here today at Gerald R. Ford will last for the next 50+ years. It will last throughout our lives. If we get this right, Gerald R. Ford will go on to be not just the most technologically advanced warship in the Navy, but the greatest warship in the Navy.
Among the Gerald Ford's outstanding innovations is its groundbreaking design, measuring an impressive 1,105 feet long, 256 feet wide, and 250 feet tall. An enormous amount of energy is required to power such a colossal ship, and that's why it has two cutting-edge A-1B reactors. Similar to the reactors used in the latest Virginia-class nuclear submarines, these power plants are the size of trucks and consume a staggering 120 tons of water per hour for cooling purposes. The reactors are housed within the vessel's hull and consist of multiple compartments for the cores. A team of 16 personnel is responsible for monitoring these engines because nobody wants a nuclear explosion on board. The reactor fuel consists of enriched uranium-235 or plutonium-239, materials capable of producing energy for up to 25 years. If a reactor like this were on land, it could power an entire city the size of Kyiv. It's hard to imagine such incredible power, and the majority of it goes towards setting this massive vessel in motion. Speaking of the ship's engine, it isn't like the steam turbine engines used in older aircraft carriers. The Gerald Ford utilizes a direct-drive electric propulsion system, which is more energy efficient. The electric motors receive power directly from the nuclear reactors, allowing the aircraft carrier to achieve a remarkable speed of 30 knots and provide a staggering power output of 1,100 megawatts, equivalent to 1.5 million horsepower. That's like 1,200 cars combined. In terms of size, if you were to stack 4 pickup trucks on top of one another, that would be about the size of a single engine, and the Gerald Ford has 2 of them.
There is a high bill up front for this carrier, without a doubt, as a first of class, but it is designed from the outset to operate more efficiently and to have greater availability due to the reduced maintenance requirements.
The direct drive system consists of several electric motors that rotate 4 propellers. If you were to see one of these propellers up close, you would definitely want to think twice before approaching it, because it's truly a massive contraption with a diameter of 23 feet and weighing 9 tons. The propellers are located at the stern of the ship, and in terms of technical specifications, they're the most advanced propellers in the U.S. Navy. Their unique curved design allows for faster acceleration with lower energy consumption. Now imagine how challenging it is to bring such a huge ship to stop. Fortunately, there are methods of doing so. The anchor of the Gerald Ford weighs approximately 40 tons. It's made of forged steel and resembles a large hook measuring 26 by 20 feet. It's basically an Abrams tank. Once the ship reaches its intended location, the anchor is lowered into the depths of the sea by a monstrous chain. Once the anchor touches the seabed, a power mechanism tightens the chain, essentially locking the ship in place. Moreover, not only does it have to stop the ship, but also withstand other demanding conditions. As aircraft accelerate and take off from the deck, the anchor chain takes on significant loads that slow down the forward movement of the ship. Each chain link weighs 200 pounds, and even when there's nothing for it to snag on the ocean floor, the weight of the anchor alone holds it fairly steady. With a chain length of 2,690 feet, the vessel can effectively anchor anywhere in the world, except for the Mariana Trench, of course. In addition to the aforementioned systems, the Gerald Ford incorporates several new technologies that greatly enhance its combat effectiveness. The ship also features some rather unconventional equipment, such as the cable landing system for helicopters. In order for an Apache or any other helicopter to land on an aircraft carrier, it must perform a vertical landing. However, during high wave activity, this becomes impossible due to the constantly pitching deck. In such situations, a special cable is used to pull the helicopter towards the deck, allowing it to land safely. As mentioned earlier, the Ford-class aircraft carrier has a wider and more spacious deck, facilitating aircraft takeoff and landing operations. The new design also includes fewer obstacles and a more efficient deck space, promoting safer and more effective operations. The carrier is even equipped with elevators that can raise and lower aircraft and other equipment. Each elevator can lift up to 65 tons of cargo, and there are 3 of them on board. There's another massive hangar beneath the upper deck of the ship, which houses elite aircraft.
So we have one less aircraft elevator than Nimitz class. This has 3 as opposed to the 4. All that was part of the design to enhance flight deck usage. So that's a key aspect, right? That's what the carrier does.
The Ford was the first ship to employ state-of-the-art electromagnetic catapults, which take up minimal space and help fighter jets get up to takeoff speed quickly. This innovation cut the time it takes to launch the entire fleet in half, thereby giving the enemy only half the time to react. These catapults are also powered by the ship's nuclear reactors. It's worth mentioning the automation and information support systems that integrate and process huge amounts of data from sensors located throughout the ship to ensure that everything runs smoothly. And last but not least, the ship's defense systems. The Gerald Ford is equipped with high-speed torpedoes, underwater mines, and advanced anti-aircraft weapons that protect it from enemy missiles and aircraft. Older carriers like the Nimitz also had similar systems, but there's one addition that sets the Ford apart. It's laser. It's called LAWS-2, and it's the world's most advanced automatic directed energy laser gun with multiple operational modes. A unique arrangement of lenses and the laser's exceptional properties allow for an attack range of 12 miles at full potency, which is an absolute record among laser weapons. In standard mode, the LAWS-2 has 200 kilowatts of power, enough to disable enemy electronics in vehicles and missiles. It poses a threat to fighters, projectiles, and even enemy boats. However, an effective defense requires more than that. In its second operational mode, with 400 kilowatts of power, the laser system can engage bombers and frigates at maximum range. The long-range capability makes LAWS-2 one of the most powerful military lasers in the world. Once again, all this power comes courtesy of the aircraft carrier's nuclear reactors, providing enough energy to continuously fend off a variety of attacks.
There is no one, absolutely no one, who would be prouder of the commissioning of this mighty ship than the President of the United States.
All of these cutting-edge systems have made the Gerald Ford the most well-protected and formidable ship of our time. Even China, upon learning about America's new aircraft carrier, clenched its teeth and pulled back from American waters. Previously, the Chinese have had a habit of provoking the United States into taking retaliatory action. I think they'd be surprised to learn that the initial plan was to create a bigger and even more powerful carrier. However, it would have required a lot more time and effort by engineers, so they simply couldn't turn the concept into reality. Nevertheless, the United States has already signed a contract to create a new Ford-class aircraft carrier called the Enterprise, which could be just as powerful as originally envisioned. Nonetheless, the current version of the Ford has proven to be tremendously beneficial. The ship is capable of weathering severe storms and massive waves at full speed, sailing distances that are unreachable for other vessels. The aircraft carrier can operate its laser guns at full capacity with automated targeting guided by artificial intelligence, shooting down the enemy before they even realize they're facing the U.S. Navy's flagship. With 2 nuclear reactors powering all of its weapons and stealth systems, rapid launching of aircraft, helicopters, and drones, the Gerald Ford stands as the most powerful ship of our time. Overall equal in power to entire armies in some cases.
This ship is so different from any other ship that I've ever been on, and that holds true for all of our sailors. You know, no matter how many aircraft carriers you've been on before, you've never been on a Ford-class aircraft carrier.
And with that, our videos come to an end. Thanks for watching all the way through. Be sure to subscribe to our channel, click on the bell, and leave a comment about what you think. We hope you have a great day, and we'll see you again soon.